Good afternoon. Welcome to the Driven to Compete channel. Hey, listen, if this is your first time visiting my channel, please hit that subscribe button along with the bell so you can stay up to date on all my latest videos. With that said, today's video is going to be about washing your car and specifically wheels and wheel brushes. So what I have here for you, let me back up here, is a very dirty Golf R. And I picked this because, yes, the wheels are open, but they're black and they're pretty dirty. So if you miss an area, it's going to give you a very good opportunity to see how good or bad the brushes might actually work. So here's what I've gone ahead and have done. I've owned a couple of these, but I went ahead and I went on to Amazon and I bought a bunch of these. And they're pretty much about every different option out there, with the exception there are a couple from Chemical Guys that they make that are on a really long, they're like this but with a very long handle on them. I did not try those. I tried to keep it to where, you know, if you're going to use one general brush for everything. So this is kind of cool. I'm excited to try it. The bristles are really fine. It's almost like they were pulled apart to come up with it. It feels like carpet. It says how I could describe it. This guy here, I'm excited to try. I liked it. I've heard good things about Easy Detail brushes. I've heard they make a smaller one. There's that longer handle that I was talking about in the middle. And then here's the one I just picked here, the Big E's. We're going to give that a try, see how that does. Here's another style I picked up off of Amazon. It's almost like they took a wash mitt, put a handle on it. Here's another one. It's a different material. I did try this one previously, and you can see it does pull quite easily when it gets in around the calipers. This is from Chemical Guys. This is an older brush I've owned. I wanted to show you because, look, you get what you pay for. I paid a lot of money for this, but unfortunately the bristles are falling out of it. It's only 6 months old, so I bought it in the spring. Here we are, the end of summer, and I'm already disappointed in how long it has or hasn't held up. This brush here is very similar to this one here from Chemical Guys that I had purchased originally. They are very stiff, bristled. I would not recommend washing your wheels with that, especially if they're painted. I think it's going to scratch. This is very similar. I'm going to end up returning this one. We're not even going to give it a try because it's very similar to this one right here. And then this is a Chemical Guys one as well. It's sheepskin wool. It's meant to get into those tighter areas in the front of the wheel. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to test 4 of them on 4 different wheels. We're going to do the first 4 here so I can give you, I mean, they're all very unique, and I thought that would be great because, like I said, these two are too stiff. They're going to scratch wheels most likely over time. I might talk about this one later, and then, like I said, this one here is very similar to the Big Blue that I have there. So let's go ahead. We'll do some testing. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I have all 4 brushes in the water. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wet this wheel down for you and see if we can't get. Now I'm going to grab some soap. We'll throw some soap on there to help with lubrication and to help loosen up some dirt. Okay, I've gone ahead and I'm going to spray some product on there. I've been a fan of this stuff. I know it's old school, but I don't care. I like it. It works. So we're going to start with Big Blue, and we'll start with that, and we'll go from there. So it gets in there behind the caliper really well, I believe, even though it looks really deep bristled. I'm very happy so far with how that did. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean the rest of the wheel, and then we're going to rinse it off, let it dry, and I'll show you the results for this one, and I'll just keep going around all 4 wheels. Okay, so this time around we're going to go ahead and we're going to try this one right here. I've already sprayed soap on here, so let's give this a try. One of the things I noticed right away is this wants to bend at the handle quite a bit, so I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. I think over time this would break. It is getting in behind, and again, I'm looking to get the whole barrel of the wheel when I'm doing this. Plus I'm looking to be able to do this here, and I just want to show you that this thing is bent. Barely used it and it's already bent. I'm not sure that this is something that is going to hold up for very long, but I'll go ahead and I'll continue to use it, and we'll see how the results are when I'm finished. Okay, so the next one we're going to try is this one here. I was excited too. I've already sprayed some soap on here, so let's go ahead and give this a try and see how this is going to do. Wow, it's really long. It definitely hits past the barrel of the wheel. Question is, how will it clean? Will it hold up? Is it going to bend? Feels like it wants to bend. How's it going to do behind the brakes? Actually, surprisingly well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish this cleaning this wheel with this brush, and then I'll come back and I'll shoot the last wheel with the last brush. We'll rinse everything, we'll let it dry, and we'll take a look at everything in the sun. Okay, and our last brush today is going to be this guy right here. So let's go ahead and we'll start giving this a try. Alright, it's very stiff. And I like that because it lets you get in here really easily. It is struggling to get in between the brakes. I'll show you that here in a minute. When you're trying to get in there between the barrel of the wheel and the caliper, it is a little snug, and this is on the back brake. So if you were on the front brakes on this Golf R, you'd probably have a much harder time getting this where it needs to go. So those are my initial thoughts. Let me go ahead and finish washing this wheel, and then we'll do our evaluation of the finished product. Okay, so we're back to the first wheel we did. It's starting to dry here enough that we can look at it. I'm going to hit the zoom button here. We're going to zoom in, and I want you to see a couple things. There's some dirt there. Overall, it didn't do a bad job. It doesn't look terrible. It did great getting in around here, you know. So first brush, I'd say did a great job. I'm going to go back here. First thing I'm going to tell you is, out of all the brushes, this is my least favorite, and I'm going to tell you why. This bends so easily right here that at some point that's going to break. So with that said, how does this look? Let me hit the zoom button. Let's zoom in and let's see how they look. Well, it doesn't look hateful. Let me try to back that down a little bit. I got it in there pretty clean. Doesn't look terrible, but I will tell you right away, out of all the brushes I tried, this is my least favorite. In fact, I would throw that in the trash if I hadn't paid some money for it. I probably will try to use it a couple more times, but it's terrible. All right. So, oh, here's the third brush we tried. I was excited to try this one, and I got to tell you, it did a nice job. Let me show you how it looks back behind the caliper. It is clean, and same thing back in there. It did miss right in there. There's still some dirt. It didn't get in there, which I would expect because this is a very highly dense material. So my take is another brush that did a great job. I would definitely continue to use it. Okay, and then lastly was this brush here, and there's missed dirt. Quite frankly, let me see if you can see this right in there. There you go. You can kind of see it. It didn't get in here real well either. Let me see if I can give you a better shot of the dirt. There you go. You can kind of see right there on my hand. You can kind of see it. So I liked this, but you can't get in behind the spokes. So another fail in my opinion. At least it didn't, it was firm. It didn't like want to bend and felt like it was cheap and it was going to break. So I got to give them credit for that. Definitely not, I would say this ranked, I I would rank this one third out of the 4 brushes I tested. So let me go ahead and I'll gather all the brushes up in order of first, second, third, and fourth, and we'll talk about each briefly, and I can finish the video. Okay, so let me back this up a little bit. All right, so there you have it. I would tell you this, these two did a great job. They're both a tie for first place in my opinion. I will say this, if you have larger brakes, this is going to be the brush you want if you have larger brakes or tighter areas to try to maneuver in to work around. If you have a very simple 5 or spoke design or something like that where there's not a lot of detail to work around, this is obviously the brush I would go with. These two were fails in my opinion. I would not recommend spending your money on those. And again, just because there's a name on it doesn't mean that it's quality. I mean, just take a quick look at this brush. We put it in the sun. You know, you can see bristles hanging off of it. You know, again, I know I said you get what you pay for. I think this thing was like 30 bucks. This guy here was somewhere in the $24 range, both of which were worth it. You know, I paid somewhere around $20 for each of those as well. So I hope I've helped you to kind of determine what brush is best. I will say this too, if you have something like this is great. And let me take a minute here to show you why I like having a very firm bristled brush like this. I'm going to dip it in, and just so you can see, the water is dirty. That means those brushes were doing their jobs, even though they may not have all done it as the same. But here, this is awesome for cleaning your. So I would say this, if you want something to, I mean, you can see the difference. Go ahead, pick one of these up as well. I promise you, it won't go to waste. You'll find something for it, such as this right here. Okay, so there you have it. We conducted a bit of a wheel brush test. Hopefully you found it helpful for you. 4 totally different materials, 4 different designs on how to improve upon a wheel brush. You know, keep watching. I'm trying to come up with different videos to keep you guys interested. And, you know, I would appreciate your comments. If there's something that you'd like to see, please hit me up in the comments section and I'll work on putting a video together. With that said though, I can't say thank you enough for watching, and I hope you keep checking back for more videos. Hit that subscribe button. Driven to Compete. Watch, like, subscribe. Have a great day.